I'm one of those lucky people who's able to come up onto Aberystwyth Castle during my lunch hour and have a bite to eat. Quite often when I come up to the castle, there are people wandering around, wondering about the history of the castle, and there's very little interpretation up here about that history. A lot of people walk the promenade when they come to Aberystwyth, and one of the things I was thinking when I was here one lunchtime was there are very convenient little alcoves just below me here on the promenade. As a printmaker, I decided these were the ideal places to put some interpretation. I worked with artist Pod Claire on the project, and she's a mosaic artist, and she wanted to change these drawings, these prints, into mosaics, which we then worked on with community groups. I had to raise the money for those. It cost about £1,000 for each one, and I thought, naively to begin with, that the 9 panels then would be financed by one large sum of money. It took me 2 years actually to get the money to complete the whole set. Each panel was financed by a different charity. This one shows when the Civil War happened in Aberystwyth, and most of the castle, which now lies in ruins, was destroyed at that time. Each of the mosaics which are illustrated show a key point in that history. It was used as a mint by Charles I, and then later on, when it was a ruin, it became a place where people just wandered around when tourists came to Aberystwyth, and the whole area was turned into a sort of garden area where there were paths spread around. People today come up here to enjoy the view. It's surrounded by a wonderful view of the sea, a very different case from when it was first on the headland as a place of defence. Instead of going and reading about the castle, we tried to encapsulate an idea of what was happening in the images. This one's quite an interesting one because Owain Glyndŵr actually signs a treaty with France, and the French come over by ship. This is the building of the castle in 1277 here, when Aberystwyth was first, the Aberystwyth Castle was first built. This is supposedly the king, which is Edward I here, although he never actually came. It would have been one of his representatives. In 1988, Michael Freeman, the curator of the museum, who is an archaeologist, excavated here when a skeleton was found in part of the ramparts on the other side of the castle from here, and it's on show, the skeleton's on show in the archaeology gallery in the museum. More information can be found in our archaeology gallery at Ceredigion Museum when you visit.